Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Nitrostorm here. Welcome back to RevivedWitch. So, we are currently in my non-free-to-play account today, and that's because we're going to be doing a proper review of the latest assassin, Sally. Now, unfortunately, this video is kind of late, very late in fact, because the banner's going to leave, I think, either tomorrow or the day after. So I deeply apologize for that. So if the banner does leave tomorrow, then you could see this as a if she was worth it or not. In any case, as you can see, I have raised her to Ascend 4 just for you guys, so you don't have to. And in terms of skills, I kept her at passive level 1 as it's the most accessible skill progression that we normally have in RevivedWitch. Of course, later on, as you farm a lot, you get passive level 2, but even now, even if you started since the beginning, farming level 2 passive is still going to be very difficult to achieve. So we kept her at level 1 passive. So in any case, let's take a look at the gear that we've given her. So you've given her this bow. You know, it's got some crit chance. The health isn't really that useful. And then we've got the armor, given her attack. And then the ring. So we have some crit rate and crit damage there also. So if we combine that with her first skill, so 10% added on to my 33%, she has 43.7% total crit rate. And her crit damage at passive level 1, I'll get 20% extra, which will bring me to 187.1%. And so at level 2 skills, as you can see, the crit chance increase stays at 10% regardless of your skill level. Of course, the damage that you deal will increase. And for the second skill, the 20% ignore defense will stay the same regardless of your skill level. And only the damage that you deal will change. And then for the passive, you go from 2% to 3% max 10 stacks. Okay, so now that we've got a better understanding of the skill, let's take a look at her in action. So for the first part, we're going to be just using her in the training area. So we'll do team 3 since it's the cleanest one. So we'll use the usual formation. So Tonel alongside Sally and then Catherine. And we're going to be using her on default mode auto. And then we're just going to take a look and see the damage and the DPS and stuff, and then we'll compare her to Celanya. Now, Celanya is passive level 2, so we're going to have to like try and guess the actual differences. Alright, so we'll do that, turn on DPS, and then we're doing it on full auto because we do want to activate Catherine's second skill as well. And then now it's just to see like the DPS and stuff during burst and so on. Alright, so we're seeing about 60, so it topped out at, okay, we're seeing 75k DPS. Alright, so we'll go to the second Arcana burst just to see if the DPS increases or not. So I guess in full auto it's a little bit iffy, but I think it's staying at a consistent 70k, 80k. Okay, so it is slowly increasing, so I'm not sure how the DPS works, but let's say around 80k at the most, right? So I guess you can see that it does seem pretty decent, but we need to have a comparison. So we'll have a strict comparison after the second Arcana burst. We hit around 80k DPS. Now let's see the gap, because she is passive level 2, so it's more so measuring the difference in gap between the two rather than how close they are. So technically speaking, they should be around the same because the first skill costs 1 as well, I think. Costs around the same. Alright, apologies for that, let me reset. There you go. So we'll just see the DPS after the first one. I guess that kind of helps it. Alright, so you're already hitting 100k 130k DPS, which does kind of make sense because passive level 2. Alright, so we'll see again the DPS after the second Arcana burst. Alright, so we're basically essentially dealing double the DPS. Alright. I guess that doesn't really help in terms of like comparing them. Okay, that's one thing. I think this is very important. I think the reason why it was kind of slow was because I forgot to mention the 2-cost order skill. Celanya's first skill only costs 1. And so we do have to keep in mind that in terms of spamming charge skills, like spamming Tonel's charge skill and Catherine's charge skill, it's going to be a bit slower because of the 2-cost. So in actuality, her costs are overall more expensive than Celanya, even though their second skill costs about the same. Alright, so she does seem to be decent. Unfortunately, I don't have another physical DPS at passive level 1 to compare. I guess we could use Mattveiffe, but as you can see, she's not really raised that well. But I do have an idea. So let's just take a look at the stats after equipping all the gear. And then we'll go from there. So she has 6k, 1.7k, and 318. Okay, that does look pretty decent. If you take a look at her stats, okay, it's not bad. That's actually not bad at all. Alright. In that case, we'll do a quick comparison between Mattveiffe and our new character, Sally. So we'll try this again. Now, I know that her crit rate is a bit low compared to Mattveiffe, so we'll take that into account. So we'll go again up to the first, I think, or second, and then we'll see the DPS. I will go through the first one just to make it faster. So I do kind of notice that they're not really using the second skill in full auto. Alright, so we managed to reach like 30k, 40k DPS. Now let's quickly switch to Mattveiffe. Now, this is going to be a bit biased, I think, because we do have higher crit rate, so we'll just have to see. Alright, so Mattveiffe does have 1 cost on the skill. Okay, so you're... Oh, wow. Okay. I guess that's this very high crit rate from Mattveiffe. Okay, that's kind of unfair, guys. Hold on. I'm kind of making Sally look bad. That's not the point of the video, guys. Give me a moment. Oh yeah, that's why, because she reduces crit damage resistance. It's essentially increasing crit rate. Oh, she does have increasing crit chance. Oh. You know, now that we took a look at Mattveiffe, I'm kind of finding it a little bit confusing as to what Sally's role in terms of damage dealing, because comparing her to Mattveiffe, one of the only differences is that Mattveiffe attacks the rear enemy and Sally just simply attacks the enemy in the frontmost position. Oh no, back row. Okay, no, they're both back row. So I'm still trying to figure out like the differences between the two, because both Sally and Mattveiffe do ignore some defense, but the difference is that Mattveiffe ignores a flat amount of defense from her passive, and outside of that, both Sally and Mattveiffe give each other crit rate and crit damage. So I'm not really sure the reasoning, really, because they feel like they're pretty much the same but kind of different at the same time. And I guess when it comes to ignoring physical defense, maybe at some point Sally's better. But for the most part, Mattveiffe might be better. Honestly, I'm a bit stuck, guys. Maybe Sally shines more if she's passive level 2, perhaps, because she does get 10% more crit damage, dealing more damage as well on her skills. I mean, we do have to give her a chance, I think. But like at the moment, when I compare her to Mattveiffe, you know, something's up. All right, let me try Mattveiffe again, but this time we'll give her gear that does not give crit rate and crit damage, just to make it more straightforward. There you go, this one. So she has a little bit less attack, right? But the crit rate and crit damage are untouched. So this should make it more fair. So we reached around 40k on Sally. Maybe because the enemy is... Yeah, I think maybe because the enemy is too easy. So just from there, Mattveiffe reached 70k DPS while Sally reached 40k at the time. Alright, let's do something different. Let's do Evil Return. No. Path Not Taken, Training Stage. And we'll fight something easy. Let's just do the Great Axe, right? And then let's do this. Increased physical defense, and that's it, right? Increased physical defense, and let's do, to counteract Mattveiffe's ignore defense, we'll do this, the 2000, right? Just to see. So we will start off with, let's change order. We'll start off with Mattveiffe like this, right? So same builds, right? So we'll keep her with 5k attack, and then we increased Raharl's defense by 2000, and that's it. And then we'll see how long it takes to finish. Alright, auto. So it shouldn't take too long because we didn't really give any upgrades. Okay, so it might take a while. So we'll see how long it takes to deplete 2 bars of HP. So we've depleted 1 bar in about 30 seconds. So we're about to see how much time it'll take for us to deplete 2 bars of HP. Alright, so we're nearing 50 seconds now. And we will hit around 58 to 59 seconds. 58 to 59 seconds on Raharl. And that's with the physical defense 2000. So he essentially negated Mattveiffe's ignore defense, which you could say is not fair, but we're still keeping that for Sally. And there should be a fair test. It's as fair as I can, because as you can see, the crit values, the crit stats are unaffected. Sally has more attack actually, and so they're both passive level 1 as well. So this is just to see how long it takes for Sally to defeat Raharl with essentially the same attack and same situation. Alright, so the first threshold that Mattveiffe did was 30 seconds to deplete the first bar. Right now we seem to be kind of struggling. We are max stacks in terms of increased critical damage. So maybe our issue is that Sally's crit rate is not high enough, perhaps? Okay, I think we'll just stop there. It took Sally the amount of time to deplete 1 bar that Mattveiffe took to deplete 2. I think that's more than enough for us to to, you know, find the result. And so I think that's enough, right, for this video. It might have taken too long, but I think it's clear that I think Sally might be a bit lackluster at the moment. It feels like she is. Maybe things will change after she gets a unique weapon, maybe, or something like that. Yeah. I mean, she does look nice, right? You know, trophy unit at least. But I think if you like right now, you know, compared to Celanya and Mattveiffe, I think that Sally is a bit lacking compared to the two. Unfortunately, you know, for an exclusive character, you'd think that she's, you know, gonna be pretty strong like Celanya. You know, maybe she might get buffed. You know, that's a copium comment right there. She might get buffed. The reason why I'm only saying this is because, as you saw from the video, she's feeling a bit lackluster. Like the damage and stuff, it doesn't seem quite right. Maybe the crit rate that she gets should be increasing, but it's only staying at 10%. Same for the ignore defense. Maybe it's supposed to go higher than 20%, but it's not changing at all. It's not increasing. So, you know, just stuff like that. And so hopefully you guys found this video useful. If you have pulled for Sally, you know, you're in my boat as well. I think she is a bit lackluster compared to the other characters. However, we might get a buff, you know, you never know. Unfortunately, she does not have a Ascension 4 skin yet, so that's another downside, if you may. I mean, same deal for Mattveiffe. Oh no, never mind. Look at that, Mattveiffe has an Ascension 4 L2D, so, you know, that's already a minus on Sally's side. In any case, hopefully you guys found this video useful. If you guys got any comments regarding Sally, do let me know down in the comments below. I'll be sure to reply. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.